Hey, in this video I'm going to show you 7 ways to get higher Google rankings, and these are the exact techniques I used to grow one of our niche sites' organic search traffic by 1,070%. Then we used the same techniques to grow this site's organic search traffic by 1,337%. So if you want higher Google rankings and more traffic, then watch this entire video because tip number 5 is weird, but it produces big SEO results. Also, please like this video if you're excited about this free training. Let's dive in. So the first technique is what I call the phantom link building technique. And this simple method helped me rank for Paperform, which gets 1,600 searches per month with only one backlink. And then I use it again to rank for PaperRater, which gets 63,000 searches per month with only one backlink again. And it even helped one of our local dental clients go from number 6 to number 2 for his most important keyword phrase. So the concept is simple, but the execution will require some explanation. So here's the concept. Phantom link building is the process of strengthening your existing link profile, and you can call it tiered link building 2.0. So here's how to do it. Number 1, create a page worth linking to. Number 2, acquire the strongest and most relevant link possible to that page. Number 3, use a strong anchor text for your backlink. Number 4, acquire links to that backlink, and I recommend using Fat Joe's niche edit service for this. And number 5, measure the results. And lastly, number 6, which is optional, acquire tier 3 links to those tier 2 placements. Now, the second way to get higher Google rankings is to become addicted to website loading speed. So it's no secret that website loading speed is critical for SEO and conversions. In fact, Google said in 2018 that speed is now a landing page factor for Google search and ads. So Google has specified mobile loading speed as being the most important. However, you should apply this concept to all versions of your website, including desktop. So to put this in perspective, I recently improved the website loading speed for one of our websites, and it increased organic search traffic by 61% in only a few weeks. And then I did the same with another website of ours, and it increased organic search traffic by 30%. It's no joke, and you need to become addicted to improving your website loading speed. So here's how to do it. Number 1, make sure you hit the like button on this video. And then number 2, benchmark your current website loading speed using Pingdom, GTmetrix, and Google's Page Speed Insights tool. And I recommend benchmarking your scores from Google's Page Speed Insights on both desktop and mobile. And then number 3, go through all the recommendations from these tools. And in some cases, you may need to hire a developer to make some of the changes. And then number 4, you may want to consider using AMP, which stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. And the truth is, moving your website to AMP is not an easy operation, and it comes with many hurdles. But if you want to try it, I recommend building an AMP-friendly website on a test server before making it live. And then number 5, if you're on WordPress, I recommend installing a caching plugin like W3 Total Cache or WP Rocket, which is what I personally use on my websites. I'll have a link in the description. And then number 6, annotate all of the changes you've made in Google Analytics. And this is the only way to see if your changes have actually been effective. Now, a third way to get higher Google rankings is to optimize your internal anchor text. So optimizing your internal anchor text is an awesome low-hanging fruit. Now, before you can optimize your internal anchors, you need to understand one principle called first link priority. Now, there's some debate on this. However, it's something I've stuck with just in case. So in short, the idea is that Google only counts the first instance of an internal anchor on a page. So if you had an internal link in your navigation and then one in the body of the content, Google would only count the anchor in the navigation. So that's why you need to be very deliberate with your internal linking. I recommend starting with your navigation. And how you choose your anchor text in the navigation is dependent on the type of website you have. So if you have a large e-com website like Amazon, it makes sense to use exact match anchor text in your navigation. And the reason is twofold. First, it's best for the users, and the anchor text you choose largely impacts whether or not a user will actually click. And when you're trying to drive conversions, your anchor text should accurately describe what that page is about, and that also applies in SEO as well. Secondly, you need internal links in a navigation because it will improve crawling and indexing, and you want most of your pages on your website to only be 3 to 4 clicks away from the home page. And this will maximize crawling and indexing, which is critical for better Google rankings. So the best way to audit your internal anchor text is to use Screaming Frog. So just open Screaming Frog and enter your target domain, and then once the analysis is complete, go to bulk bulk export and click on all anchor text to export. Then you'll see the internal anchor text for all of your pages. And in most cases, you should be using exact match anchor text for internal links. So the fourth way to increase your Google rankings is to use what I call the merger technique 2.0. So if you've been following me for any time, you know it's no secret that I love using expired domains for link building. And that's because expired domains are the fastest way to grow your site's authority. But the key is to think about them the right way. So when I'm considering purchasing an expired domain, I'm looking at that domain as a business. So the question becomes, would I buy this business? And that's why I call this the merger technique. Think of yourself as an investor who is acquiring a business so you can consolidate it with yours. So here's a quick process for finding and acquiring expired domains. Number one, use Spamzilla to find and vet expired domains. And I have a video on exactly how to do this on my channel, and I'll have a link in the description. Number two, create a dedicated page on your website for the redirect. Now, this is the part where many people get confused, and in 99.9% of cases, you should not do a homepage redirect. And the reason is because you'll send a ton of irrelevant links and anchor text to an undeserving page. So a better approach is to create a dedicated page for the redirect. For example, if you acquire the hypothetical domain bigburgerjoint.com and you're a restaurant that sells burgers, it would be best to create a page title like "What is Big Burger Joint?" or "Big Burger Joint, all you need to know." You will then create a dedicated piece of content about the expired domain or business. And after you've done that, you can complete the final step, which is to redirect the domain. Now, I will mention one nuance here. You need to analyze the link profile of the expired domain to see where most of its links are pointing. For example, if most of the backlinks are hitting the homepage, then the strategy I just explained will work well. However, if most of the links are hitting sub pages like blog posts, then you'll need to find relevant pages on your website for each individual redirect. Now, this process is much more time intensive, but necessary if you want the redirect to be effective and safe. And in some cases, you'll need to create some new content assets to support some of these redirects. That also means that you'll need to get dedicated hosting for the expired domain because you'll be doing redirects on the page level, not the domain level. Now, you can of course avoid this altogether by only focusing on domains that mainly have homepage links in your vetting process. So now the fifth technique to increase your Google rankings is to delete your content. Now, this might be the weirdest suggestion of all, but is the first action I take with every new SEO campaign. In short, you should perform a content audit to find pages that are outdated, thin, or just low quality. And this will make your website leaner and will improve crawling and indexing. And you should filter through all of your pages based on traffic, conversions, and quantity of backlinks. And you can use Screaming Frog to perform this task. Just integrate the Google Analytics and Ahrefs API, and you'll have all the data you need to make educated decisions. Now, there are a few ways to handle content on a site. The first method is to improve it. And this is the best option if you're targeting a qualified keyword, but it hasn't performed well. So in most cases, if you have been targeting a keyword for over a year and it's not in the top 10, then you need to reassess the content and reassess your link building efforts. Sometimes it's a content issue and other times it's a link issue, but the latter is most obvious. If you have no backlinks, then go and get more backlinks and see what happens. However, if the page already has as many backlinks as the competitors and they're just as high quality, then it's likely a content related issue, or it's because your overall website authority is too weak. The second method is to consolidate it. So I call this the cake technique, and I have a video on my channel explaining how to do it, and I'll have a link in the description. But in short, the cake technique is the process of consolidating thin pages into one single mother asset. And I usually use it to combat keyword cannibalization, which is when more than one page is targeting the same keyword. And the third technique is to redirect pages. So some pages aren't worth improving or consolidating, so find a relevant page on your website and redirect it. That is, only if the page has existing backlinks, traffic, or any other important KPI. And if it doesn't have anything going for it, then the fourth option is to delete the page. That's right, just delete the page and let it 404, and then Google will crawl that page and remove it from its index. And you should only use this option if a page isn't targeting a keyword and doesn't have any positive KPIs like conversions, traffic, or backlinks. Now, the sixth way to increase your Google rankings is to reclaim lost link equity. So one of the quickest ways to skyrocket your site's authority is to reclaim lost link equity. So here's how to do it. Open Screaming Frog, connect the Ahrefs API, and start the analysis. Then click on the Response Codes tab and select Client Error 4XX. Then scroll over to the Ahrefs columns and see if these pages have backlinks. And if they do, find a relevant page on your website and 301 redirect it to the page. And the final way to increase your Google rankings is to optimize existing content. So there are many ways to improve existing SEO content on your website. However, the best thing to do is to streamline your efforts and use a tool that does most of the work for you. And that tool is Surfer SEO, which you've heard me rave about many times already. But just by implementing Surfer's on-page SEO recommendations, we took a client in the competitive personal injury space from being invisible in Google to top 10 for their most profitable keywords like car accident lawyer. And the only thing we did was implement the recommendations from Surfer. And I actually have a few dedicated videos for how to use Surfer, and I'll have links in the description. Now, although investing in a tool like Surfer can save you enormous amounts of time, you can optimize your SEO content without it. You just need to go through my 80-point on-page SEO checklist. I'll drop another link below the video as well. So those are the 7 ways you can increase your Google rankings. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get first access when I publish new training. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.